Okay, this is a special Christmas in July request per Armchair Chef Lori. She asked in the live tonight, or today, Wednesday, if I could make a reindeer poop for her. So she wants like a poop emoji with reindeer antlers. So I'm going to record this in pieces because I'm not totally sure how I'm going to do this yet. But I made it this long and I already cinched that down. I did not count rows. I'm going to kind of freehand this. My thinking is that I'm going to do something like this and kind of stuff more and more as I go out. That I got to figure out where to place the eyes before I start the stuffing process because they need to be in the top one. But I will record on my webcam instead as I'm kind of working through this process. So this is just the intro. That's how long I made it on the 22 pin Sentro. And I already cinched that top part. I'm not cinching this, and I've actually been kind of stretching the bottom because I might do something different with the bottom than cinch it. I may end up grabbing these loops and crocheting. I'm not sure. I haven't decided. That's why we're going to watch on my webcam so you can see my hands and what I'm doing in my thought process. Okay, so I have added the eyes and I have stuffed it with yarn scraps, which I thought would be appropriate for, what this is. All right, these are not attached, but I thought I'd advertise Fiber Floozy's lovely stickers. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this yarn that I cinched this down with. Actually, let me do a little more cinching. This is how I cinch. I go up under that in the same direction that the yarn was cinching down from. So you're working with what's already working there. All right. So now I'm going to go in here and come down to the row I want to kind of cut this off at. I think I'm going to end up putting the nose on the next one. The poop emoji is kind of, let me stuff that scrap back in there. Get in there, shouldn't you? All right. I should have probably double layered this, but then I would have even needed to make, well, now I'm rethinking. Yeah, we're going with it. We're going with it. All right. So I'm just going to kind of go every other stitch, just come around here. Sort of like with the octopus. End up cinching that down. And I'm hoping, I did this as the background because it's much nicer than the white, and I put the other stickers on display. So this is where the slightly curved needle is just so much easier to work with when you're doing stuff like this. Okay. I can tell, and this is very long. All right, I'm just getting that stuffing back up in there. But that piece of stuffing, that chenille yarn does not want to stay in there. All right, where am I? I'm right here. And again, I am not doing this in any way scientifically, but I promised I'd show you my thought process. So I'm going to go around here. Again, my thought process is I should have double layered this. But I also was getting irritated with my Sentro, so I was like, this is long enough. All right. Okay, so that's the top of our poop emoji, right? And the antlers will go here. Now I'm going to keep this. Let me pull that down really tight. Okay. Should I knot it? Should I to knot or not to knot? That's a lot of knots. All right. I might run out of yarn scraps. That's insane. All right. There's some yarn scraps. Because how many layers is the poop emoji? I'm going to have to look. Oh, maybe I should double it up from here. That's what I'm going to do. But then my other idea won't work here. Yeah, I'm going to do it. Cinch this down and make sure it doesn't flip the wrong way, which is what it did. I'm going to take this needle off of here. Sorry, this is barely on screen. Hopefully that it's zoomed in enough. Okay, so when I pull it, it cinches when I go this direction, so this is the direction I'm going to sew. I'm sure most of you have done that with cinching things, but that's what I do. So when I pulled, it went cinching this way. Again, I go under these loops. Therefore, again, that hooked needle is so nice. But I thought I'd give you a nice background to go with this reindeer poop. All right. Is emoji the right word? I think it is. Because I've heard it as emotes. Are emojis certain ones? Is emoji a brand name? Things that my brain thinks about. All right, here we go. All right, this is cinched up. Now I'm going to push that inside. And you can kind of see some flaws right here. I'm actually going to use that to my advantage. Okay, so see how it, I'll stretch that down because I only want to be right at the edge of that. Yeah, that's where I'm at. Okay, that needle is still on this one up here. So I'm going to attach it. I'm just going to stick it through here for the moment. And because I'm making this up, that's why a lot of this doesn't matter. What I'm going to do now is come over here, cinch down, and remember this is attached to the other piece. Tie these together. I am not looking for any kind of perfection here. I just want it to be cute and funny. I won't be making the antlers probably on this because, well, I mean, I will make the antlers, but probably not in this video because, again, I need to look how many layers is that cinched down too tight. Okay, so I think what I need to do, that looks pretty good for the fatness. I think I kind of need to squish it like down like that, right? And then like almost make his head pointy. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Stretch that out. And then I will squish it down and I'm going to kind of attach that down so their separation isn't so obvious. Okay, so I'm going to keep whatever's on the needle is what I'm going to be using here for a sec. Are we having fun yet? I know some of you really appreciate that I show my thought process, especially when I'm kind of designing. I'm making it up as I go because, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if there's a pattern out there for this, but you know, Armchair Chef wanted a certain particular reindeer poop, so it will be exactly what she's looking for. Well, I'm going to try to make it exactly what she's looking for. I may actually go through because that looks really, with all those colors, that looks a little questionable, but it's all right. It's all right. It's okay. It's okay. Everything's okay. Okay, now, is that squished down enough? No. It's going to need to be squished down more. Which one's it attached to? Not that one. It's not attached to that one. Okay. There again, I just attach it down. All right. Now, Helix basically came up with the snowman pattern we did on the Sentro. This is me coming up with a reindeer poop on the Sentro. Again, it's going to be reindeer poop because it's going to have an eyes, and guess what? We have a red nose. I will not finish this tonight, I don't believe. But I'm starting it the day she asked because I want to actually try to get it done by Friday. Today is Wednesday, so that I can be up for my Saturday video and more advertisement for Chef Lori's, Armchair Chef Lori's Christmas in July. I told her my inspiration picture will be a picture of her. And that made her laugh really hard. So I'm probably doing that, but then I will also use a picture of the poop emoji and then the antlers. All right. Okay. I'm going to go up through here for a sec. All right. Now, there's still a definite difference between those two. Okay. Get the stuffing stuffed up there. Oh, there's a little piece of blanket yarn that came out. I do tiny little scrubs. All right. I'm going to stretch that pretty good because I want that bottom layer to be the fattest. But I need this to be fat. So I need to really stuff it up there. All right. All right. If I do it there, is that going to be enough? Is that going to be fat enough? No, I feel like I need more stuff. I'm going to use some polyfill. All right. All right. Okay, that. Just keep it on the same one. We'll save this other one for later. Go down into the row. If I can get through it. Come on. I might have to be a little more creative. Sometimes on my amigurumis, I have to do it this way that I'm about to show you, where I had to go in a different spot than I actually wanted to come out. Try to go back through that hole. And then along the edge. And then I want to shove everything up all the way to there. Okay, right now it kind of looks like a brown snowman, except not anywhere near as cute. All right. Again, I'm trying to stay on that same row, and I'm just kind of going every other spot. And then when I get to where I can tighten it down a little bit more, I'm going to shove all of that stuffing up there. This probably, if you're just listening to audio, this video is particularly questionable. I apologize for that. Come on, stretch out, stretch out, stretch out. I need it to push out. Like I'm going up too much. Yeah. Okay. Going up a little. So I think I got off on the row that I wanted to be on. I'm going to go all the way back to here. I'm going to actually go down a row. See, that's easy if you do it early on. You can see the thread or the yarn. All right. So I need to come down one more and then start going through here. All right. I'm going to speed some of this up. Yeah, that's better. Far enough around, what I want to do is shove that stuffing into the shape I want it to be. All right. Okay. So far, pretty much looking like a poop emoji. That is not all the way tight. All right. I think I'm going to just kind of go a little bit more to get that tight. All right. So I'm going to come back when I've figured out exactly how I'm handling this, because I want this to go out. I might do something to add on here, but this is going to need to get tied down to be what I want it to be. There you go. Oh, my phone sometimes. All right. Okay. I'll be back with more information later. Okay. here is where I'm at on the reindeer poop. You can see I have added the red nose, the eyes, and the antlers. I made these up as I went, so I don't even know how I would describe how I made those. I am using the tan buff color, or whatever it is, taupe, to squish this down even more. What I decided is because I needed the base to be a little bit wider, I wasn't going to be able to cinch it down. So I made this. It was 9, I believe. Let me count. Yeah, 9 rounds of increases in the normal way, 2 in each stitch, then 1 and 2, and then 1 in an increase, 2 in an increase, 3 in an increase, like that. And then I did 1 row of just same size, but back loop only. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to sew this on so that it is fatter. Hopefully you can see that. It's actually fatter on the bottom here. I might shift it to its side so you can see it a little bit better. So I'm not going to make you sit here and watch me do that, but I wanted to describe that process, and then I'll show you how I'm pulling this down. So the antlers, I didn't put anything inside of them, not even polyfill. So, but yes, I did put the nose on. I might have to move the eyes around a little bit to get that right. Anyway, I'll play with it. Make sure it's right for Chef Lori. I'll come back when this is all done. All right, I'm here with the final project, reindeer poop. Now, I figured this shape is perfect, right? Because reindeer poop or deer poop is in little pellets. So I didn't put the little swirl on top that the poop emoji would have. But there you go. Armchair Chef Lori got her reindeer poop. And she will be getting this for her Christmas in July. I do have to send some inspiration pictures, and one of the inspiration pictures will be her, and that will be funny, right? So I will insert a picture so you can look at it a little more closely. I tried to squish it, like each of them down kind of flat, because again, that's more like what their puppies are like. But it's cute. It's cute and ridiculous. There you go. Reindeer poop. Mostly made on the Sentro. This is crocheted. This is crocheted, and this is crocheted. And that's it. Everything else was on the Sentro and kind of sewing with the extra threads. Like I used the extra yarn to like kind of squish it down, like stuck the needle through as much as I could. Anyway, there you go. As opposed to this cute little snowman. Oh, who lost its head. Yes, I have not attached the hat. I did make everything on him except his mouth and the nose is made on the Sentro, the 22 pin Sentro. There you go. Both cute. This one's ridiculous and hilarious. So there you go. Reindeer poop. Thanks for coming in. Can I get an amen?